You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
And I'm Clint. Welcome back to another episode here on the Locked On Podcast Network, Locked On Bulldogs, your team every day. And we're still feeling great. We're still feeling fine.
Why wouldn't I be, Clint?
Because we just trounced an SEC opponent. We're heading into another SEC opponent that I hope we can crush the soul of much.
The bloodlust for Vanderbilt, Clint, is still high. I really believe you're going to see Kirby do some things that Clark Lee will never forgive him for. I'll tell you that right now.
Kirk Leah?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we don't take each
premier job in college football, premier program in college football. That's what he said. That's what he said about Vanderbilt.
No one made him say it.
No.
Okay.
No. Could have been a practical joke that his friends play. He could have lost a bet. Maybe that's why he's the head coach of Vanderbilt.
I can't confirm or deny that he lost a bet to Coach Vanderbilt. I don't know.
Somebody get Brady Quinn on the phone.
There's a yacht somewhere missing. Hey, we don't take each other too seriously, nor ourselves. We take UGA fandom very seriously on this podcast. Glad you're here. We're here 5 days a week. If you're new to the podcast, Daniel and I just like having fun. We want your fandom to increase as ours increases as well. So join us in making sure that we are the best UGA fans as possible. Have some fun with us.
That's right. We're not gurus. We're not insiders. We're not here to break down any film or tell you, about any crystal ball predictions for what an 18-year-old is going to do with his life. What we are here to do is be Georgia fans, talk like Georgia fans do, Georgia football and basketball. And so glad that you're here. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. A couple different places that you can find us. Find us on audio, wherever podcasts are found. If you're there, subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Also, check us out on YouTube, Locked On Bulldogs on YouTube. You can subscribe there. That's a big deal. Helps us out a bunch. And then just click that thumbs up or leave us a comment or ring the bell or whatever the thing is that you do on the YouTube. That's great. And then send us an email, lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com. Love hearing from you guys. We have the best fans in
we do.
In all of podcastdom. I don't know where you guys come from. I don't know who you are. I don't know what's happening in your lives, but I'm here for it. Whatever it is, keep on coming. So send us an email. We do read every single one. If we haven't replied to your email, it's not because we haven't read it. It's just because we haven't got to it. We are grateful for all of your questions, your show ideas, your segment ideas, all of your thoughts about the show, all of your random musings as you watch Georgia football games. We are grateful
they're so good.
All of the randomness that you send us. You can also hit us up on Twitter at Dogs Podcast. You can follow us there. Is that what you do on Twitter? Yeah, you follow. Yeah, you can follow us there. And I don't know. There's so many things. I get them confused. Let me just tell you this. Locked On Bulldogs never started an Instagram. I just promise you that. There's not. What would we even take a picture of? I mean, in that trip to Charlotte, that Instagram would have been full. We would just had assistant manager Brandon over there at the table. We all kinds of photographic evidence. All right, Clint.
Yes,
we're talking about the South Carolina game and
defense. Both this time, not offense, defense. We did that yesterday. If you didn't get the offensive segment, go back and listen to it there. Today, we switch into the defensive side, Daniel, and I'm getting a
little warm. It's getting
a little warm in here.
It's getting a little. Is it just me, or is it getting a little Jordan Davis in here? Because
may I start? Let me start.
You
with
may.
Something. Okay, thank you.
You may. The floor is yours. I see the floor.
T's and P's to Roquan Smith in Georgia uniform.
Had a good run.
Had a great run.
Had a great boy. We hadn't seen anything like it since freaking David Pollock and Thomas Davis out here running around.
Loved Roquan Smith with all my heart.
It was a good time.
Okay? And then I went to college and I left Betty Sue back home.
Oh no! Oh no!
And,
Oh no!
and I ran
Roquan
into
is now the high school Betty Sue, which if you actually had a girlfriend in high school named Betty Sue, I will pay you $1,000 right now.
I don't know how I'm going to prove this to you.
Nobody. You better.
I don't know how I'm going to prove this to you.
I'm going to need verbal confirmation from Betty Sue herself for me to pay that. Pay that bet.
We're not
She's
gonna.
not speaking.
I'm not going to take the 1,000. I'd rather not make the call and you keep the 1,000. If I could be totally honest with you.
Okay, well, the podcast is off to an aggressive start today.
Jordan Davis is my abject favorite Georgia Bulldog I have ever rooted for in my entire life. I am here for all of it. He's one of the best defensive linemen we've ever had walk through our doors. And screw it. I'm sorry. He's the best defensive lineman that has ever walked through our doors. I said it. And he's my fan favorite. He's lovely in every respect. He is still hunting down every running back and quarterback sideline to sideline while simultaneously dragging 3 men with him. This is a different. He's my favorite. He's my favorite of all time.
I'll tell you this: he's unequivocally the best interior defensive lineman we've ever had. I don't know about best defensive lineman. He is absolutely a one-man wrecking crew. But the thing is, Clint, he's not one man.
He's not alone.
There's so many of them. If Jordan Davis weren't on this team, listen, we would have the best defense in college football. Now, say that about the 2017 team with Roquan Smith.
Roquan was the defense. He was.
Listen, Lorenzo Carter, unbelievable. Sure. Davin Bellamy, unbelievable. Single-handedly won the Notre Dame game. Like, we get it. There were some amazing players on that defense.
Yep.
But you take Roquan off, that's like a top 15 defense, maybe?
Yep.
You take Jordan Davis off this defense, and we're worse, way worse. But we're still the best defense in college football. Did you see Devontae Wyatt get after the quarterback in this game, Clint? 95 can straight out get out there and ball now.
3rd round or better confirmed.
95's got all he needs in terms of draft stock. He's got all the game tape that this man needs. All right? Get him in front of an NFL GM. He's going to be just fine.
Just fine.
The front seven, Clint, there's nothing – I don't know what to say. It's Nolan Smith is playing like the number 1 player coming out of high school. He was unreal in this game. Adam Anderson was great in this game.
Great.
Nolan Smith looked like the best edge rusher that we had in this game. He was unblockable. He was running through tackles. He did that little on the strip sack, Clint, the little dip that he did where he just got his body on the full Michael Jackson Thriller lean, like that he was doing. That's a Smooth Criminal. That's what that music video is. Oh, my gosh. The Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal lean, he did that, and he just whoop. Boy, Nolan Smith, unbelievable. I mean, we could just go. We could just go.
Again, tell me one more time. I defy all comers. All comers. You give me any offense in the entire – you give me Michigan's rushing attack, and they're rushing for like 330 yards a game or something like that. I'll hold you to 75.
We ain't no Northern Illinois, I'll tell you that.
You give me a passing attack. You name the team. I don't care.
Yeah. Sure. Don't matter. Hey, Matt Corral, you can't throw it. You can't throw it downfield when you're laying on your back, son.
What happens when your 5 second of read turns into 2.2 second and all you see is red demons hunting you down from the second you snap the ball?
What happens when you try to break the pocket and scramble for all them yards that you were getting against Tulane?
See, you think that Adam Anderson's your problem, and he is your problem. He is absolutely your problem. That's fine. But he's going to stop you from getting outside. The real problem is coming from the backside behind you. Ooh.
He's number 41, and he's on the way. Clint, who's the best linebacker? Who's the best middle linebacker on this team, Clint?
Channing Tindall.
What a season this guy is having.
Channing Tindall has exploded.
What a
onto the scene.
season this guy is having.
Again, so you just made the claim Jordan Davis gets off this defensive line. We still have the best defensive line in the entire nation, which is bananas to say. But I'm going to tell you right now, Nakobe Dean has become the second best inside linebacker on this club. Now, if you're talking
and he
blitzing,
hasn't gotten worse. He hasn't gotten worse.
He has only produced Nakobe Dean-esque things, which is great. Channing Tindall is on a level. I have not seen a progression, this kind of leap. I haven't seen it. Daniel, I can't think of another linebacker, another player that has come on the scene like this, that has gone from reserve spot play to tackling. You said Boss Bailey blocked every kick.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, Channing Tindall has made every single tackle this entire year ever.
Prove me wrong. That's not. Prove me wrong. You just whatever stat sheet you're going to show me, you made that up.
It's a lie.
I watched the game. He made them all. He made every tackle. It's not the same position, but we just mentioned him a minute ago, and that the comparison seems to fit for me. He kind of reminds me of Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter comes in, 5-star kid, big time recruit. You know what? Nolan Smith kind of reminds me of Lorenzo Carter too, but comes in, 5-star kid, big time recruit, and takes him a little bit. Lorenzo Carter, his first couple of years in Athens, a little shaky. Made a couple of flashy plays, but a little shaky. Could never really seem to get his feet under him, playing behind some other guys. But then all of a sudden, that late junior year, going into late 2016, going into 2017, it's like it just clicked for him. Channing Tindall has just come alive. We watched the spring game and we said Quay Walker is everything we need in a middle linebacker next to Nakobe Dean. And Quay's been fine.
He has.
But Channing Tindall has been unbelievable, Clint. It's
Man on fire.
Unbelievable to watch this guy. Adam Anderson running down there covering kicks, ending people's lives. All right, we got to stop. We're going to talk about the secondary when we come back in the second segment. But we'll go to break now, and we'll talk about that when we get back.
We need to let you know about Prize Picks. All right, college football fanatics, have you heard about Prize Picks? Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. I love this, and I know you will too. Prize Picks is a leader in college football daily fantasy, offers more college football props than anyone in the world, and offers all the star players on the Power 5 as well as mid-majors players you maybe not have heard of. Prize Picks offers you props that you can think of, from yardage to touchdowns, even interceptions thrown. Emory Jones, how you doing? All the users deposit
Take the over
right now. Take the over.
We'll talk about it in third segment.
Right now, you can deposit your promo code and receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. You put $100 in, they're going to give you $100 right on top of that. You pick 2 to 5 players, the over under their projections, and you can win up to 10 times your entry. Allows you to do mixed sport entries. It's an award-winning app on both the App Store and Google Play. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals. Don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com. Go to the local app store. Download the app today. Prize Picks with promo code LOCKED ON.
Also want to let you know about Rock Auto. They are the place to go to get all of your parts for your car on the internet. We say it all the time on the podcast, but there is no reason, absolutely no reason, that you should go to an auto parts store. They have one type of some of the parts that your car might need, and rockauto.com has every part that your car will ever need. The warehouse that the auto parts store is going to have to order your part from so that you can come back on a week from Thursday and pick it up. That warehouse is rockauto.com. You can go there yourself and get it at a better price and get it shipped straight to your door without having to go back and talk to Eduardo at the auto parts store with just not a mustache in sight, not a singular strand of hair in sight. The full mustache of auto parts retailers is rockauto.com. They're the place to go to get every part that your car needs. Type in Locked On in the How'd You Hear About It section. That lets them know that we sent you. And then you get every part that your car needs at a reliably low price. It's rockauto.com.
Let's talk about the secondary. Many consternation, many of teeth have been snarled and gnashed thinking about the secondary. Daniel's included. Daniel's teeth are the ones I'm speaking of. Not any ambivalent, just
these are not hypothetical teeth. No, we're not metaphorical teeth.
No.
These are actual human teeth inside my mouth. Amir Speed is not good enough.
I refuse to believe that we don't have a better corner that can play every down. That is not Amir Speed. I refuse to believe it, Daniel. We have a better one. Keely Ringo, get on out there. Brother, do your thing.
And it's fine. Keely Ringo is better than Amir Speed in this game. Keely Ringo, now they didn't complete it, but Keely Ringo also got flat out burned. Just got run by. This guy, Josh Van, he just came out and lit us up. Not the best receiver we're going to play this year, Clint. This is the problem.
But see,
he's good. He's very good. But Luke Doty and Josh Van ain't the best combination we're going to play this year. And it was all you've got to do against this defense, seemingly, is just throw it up in the air, Clint. And they're coming down with a much higher percentage of those balls than they should have. I know it's. I'm gonna circle back and probably curtail some of this negativity coming back here in a minute. But I do think it is worth stating that right now, to me, there is one glaring weakness on this team, and it's not the run game. It's the secondary. It's the secondary is the glaring weakness on this team.
Okay, here's my PSA for you, Daniel. And it takes a little bit of context. It takes a little bit of M-Dubs hit you with the more you know.
He just went in full more you knowed me.
He went full. I used to have a pit bull tattoo, and I've only now just removed it on my chest on you. That's what he did.
Is that Pitbull the dog or Pitbull the rapper?
Either one. You choose.
Is that a Mr. Worldwide tattoo, Dubs? Can we confirm or deny? I would pay upwards of $100 to get a picture of a M-Dubs Mr. Worldwide tattoo here on the YouTube channel. Dubs, prove me wrong.
Get it done. Here's the deal. The more you know. Fact 1. Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning had a perfect game plan against Clemson. Fact.
Sure did.
Now, you can tell me Clemson's not that good. Clemson's good. Okay, like they're not playing up to their – we broke them. No. We broke them.
Wow.
DJ Uiagalelei still has nightmares. Okay?
Wow.
They're good. I didn't say great. I did not say great. I said good.
I'm glad.
Okay?
I don't know that they're good, but that's fine. Go ahead. That's
okay.
Next segment.
Secondly,
okay,
Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart are saying, let's see what we have. Let's do litmus tests. Let's see if we put guys out on the island. Against Clemson, they didn't put anybody out on the island for much of the game. They had 2 deep safeties for much of the game. They did do man-to-man. They brought some heat. But for a vast majority, they had that too high safety look. This one, no, that wasn't there at all. They said, man up and go do your job. It reminds me of the Seahawks when they made a Super Bowl run with Richard Sherman. And the defense was not – it was just play your position. That's what the defense was called.
Yeah.
That's what this defense is doing, manning up and seeing what to do. And you're going to get burned. Kirby said after the game, it's calculated risk. We knew we were going to get burned. That's what we're doing. If you want the pressure, if you have a lead, it's kind of like pitching in baseball. When you have the lead, you go out there and you throw strikes, Daniel. That's all you do. You got a 10-run lead. Throw strikes. We're up by a bunch. We're crushing them. Blitz, play man-to-man. You're going to catch a few of those balls. I get it. I think it's evident that our cornerback position is not strong. We get Tyke back. He's back there at safety in the star position. We got Brini and Lewis Seen and Christopher Smith roaming back there. We can man up on some slot things. All of a sudden, we start game planning differently. I think this defensive secondary takes a different look. And right now, Kirby and Dan are experimenting because they have liberty to.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. And look, the bottom line is you're not going to go pitch 15 shutouts. I know as a Georgia fan, like that's what we want to do. We think this defense is elite. We don't want to give up any touchdowns. We want to go out and shut everybody out. You're not going to do that. And the fact of the matter is excuse me, that with this offense that we have, we don't have to do that. That's the thing. We thought coming into the season, the defense is going to be good enough, and the offense is going to light everybody up this year. And look, in the Clemson game, we said, well, you better just flip that script around. The defense is going to light everybody up, and the offense is going to be good enough. Well, I think now what we're seeing is the offense is already elite and is only getting better, right?
Yep.
Darnell coming back, Jorge coming back, Dom coming back, Kyrus Jackson got some run in this game. He's coming back. The offense is already elite and only getting better. This front seven is elite. We can give up 2 or 3 home runs, explosive plays. We can give up 3 or 4 home runs or explosive. Because guess what? Those 3 or 4 home runs and explosive plays are going to amount to 17 points.
That's it.
And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do to get the other 23 points that you need to beat us? Because, listen, Clint, it ain't run the ball.
No.
That's not what you're going to do.
You got to keep pitching.
It's not dink and dunk your way down the field. Ask DJ. That ain't it.
Oh,
that
no.
ain't what it's going to be. So you take your 17 points. That's fine. And now JT needs to go out there and just put 28 on you, and we win comfortably.
We're going to get into this next week. Tell me a defense that you are right now scared of in college football. Okay, good.
Sorry.
Me too.
I answered already. Did you?
I caught that. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, we're coming back after this for a new segment that we're going to try to get into every Tuesday. A little look around college football. What did we learn this weekend in college football? First, I want to talk to you about the fine folks over at BetOnline. They are your online sportsbook experts. They're the place that we go to place every wager on college football that we make. Locks, we're back this week. We had another decent week, not an incredible week. We didn't lose you any money this week.
Nope.
Still holding firm. We're still firmly above 500 for the season. All these locks come out every Thursday, and BetOnline is the place that you go. They have got college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball as it gears up for the playoffs. Everything that you need to bet on any sport that you want, money lines, spreads, parlays, over-unders, prop bets, anything that you need is at betonline.ag. They're your online sportsbook expert right now. Enter the promo code Locked On, and you're going to get a 100% match on your first deposit. That's promo code Locked On, and you're getting a 100% match on your first deposit. So that's free money with which to bet at betonline.ag, your online sportsbook experts.
So this big picture look at college football, we learned a lot.
What did we learn this weekend? This was a very informative weekend. A very informative weekend.
Okay, 3 weeks down. All right. That's a lot of case study. Okay.
A lot of things have happened. All right.
A lot of tendencies have come down.
Let's just go rapid fire back and forth, and then we'll end kind of on the big SEC game. The biggest 2 opponents that we think Georgia's going to play. We think Georgia's going to play this year. Those 2 big opponents played each other in Gainesville. It was a big game. A lot of implications for Georgia. We're going to cover that last. We're going to get to that last. Okay. So Florida, Alabama thoughts are going to come last. But let's just go rapid fire back and forth. What did you learn this weekend? I'll start. I learned Clemson's not good. No, not good. I disagree with you. We disagree. Clemson, not good. G-off. That's a Geoff Collins-led team that has
embarrassing.
Smoked already this year in a non-conference game. Took them to the wire, Clint. To the wire. Okay, that's the first thing I learned.
I learned that there are no good teams outside the SEC. There are no good teams outside the. It is a wide open. Iowa, good football team.
Let's not say there are no good teams.
Correct. Okay.
Plenty of good teams. Oregon's good.
There are no great teams. Oregon's good. Iowa's good. Cincy, good. Gutted out a win. Good. Michigan State, good.
Mel. How you doing, Mel?
Get you some. UCLA, fraudulent. By the way,
Michigan might be good.
By the way, you tell me right now, Michigan don't have a shot to beat Ohio State because they do. Like every other, you say no shot. They got a shot this year.
You were gonna brag about UCLA. I'm gonna allow you to do that, and then I'm gonna comment on that.
UCLA is fraudulent, and the Pac-12 is fraudulent. That's it.
Here's what I learned. I learned Ohio State's going to score 40 points in every game, and they're going to lose twice this year. They've already lost once, but they're going to score 40 in every game. Congratulations, Ryan Day. 2 losses this year. I don't know which 2 games it's going to be, but 2 losses.
I learned Lincoln Riley is going to get out of Dodge while he can.
Elite college football play caller.
No, he gone. I don't know where he going. What NFL team's going to be calling him? Somebody's going to be calling him. Paying
Spencer
him
Rattler ain't Patrick Mahomes.
No, sir.
That is not it. I learned, just to parlay all of these things together, Clemson, Ohio State, and Oklahoma are not going to make the playoff this year.
This just in.
Clemson, Ohio State, and Oklahoma are only ranked in the top 10 currently because they were ranked in the top 3 in the preseason. There's no evidence that these teams are good.
Cincinnati making the playoff.
Cincinnati's going to lose to Notre Dame after Notre Dame loses to Wisconsin this weekend.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Wisconsin going to be chaos is happening everywhere.
Okay. Did you learn anything else before we get to Florida and Alabama?
No, that was the big picture that I learned.
All right. What did you learn about Florida this weekend? A pretty entertaining game.
Look,
just to be totally clear.
I tuned in from the snap to the end right until the game time, but it was entertaining all the way through.
Okay, I'm going to let you say what you're going to say. No. I want to say it first because then I want to get to the real takeaway. But so before you say what you learned about Florida, let me just say, Emory Jones made some good throws in this game. I know it's fun to get on here and bag on Emory Jones. But late in the fourth quarter on that drive, he made an unbelievable throw over the middle to keep them in that game. And we will have at least a dozen people unsubscribe for this next 2 seconds of audio.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Dan Mullen had an unbelievable game plan in this game. And Florida did everything they could to win this game. Kudos to them. On almost winning.
Here's what I learned. Florida gave every single thing that they could.
It feels so good to say.
Dan Mullen coached the best game of his career. Emory Jones made a couple mistakes, made up for it. Their O-line played well. The defense showed up, and they lost at home. Here's what I learned. Florida don't have the juice because they just spent it all, and it wasn't good enough. So am I nervous about Florida? No, I'm not. No. Did they play Bama well? Yes, they did. Shouldn't that elicit some sort of response from me? Nope. Because Bama was off and weak, and Florida had eaten all the Wheaties that they possibly could at home in a raucous crowd early in the season. Week 3, when you don't have everything up and running, they are most vulnerable, they are most snake-bitten, and they couldn't pull it off. So I learned the best Florida has isn't good enough. And that makes me beyond happy.
It's not good enough, Clint. And let me just ask you this, just as for a cherry on top. That game plan, the best Florida can do, how's that going to work against Georgia?
Trying to run down the middle of monsters? Good luck. I beg you, Florida.
Please.
Florida fan.
We were texting each other. Please run that scheme against Georgia. Please.
Dan, come with all your arrogance. Tell us you're going to ram it down our throats because it's going to be the longest evening in Jacksonville for you.
Here's what I learned about Alabama, Clint. That ain't Alabama out there.
No.
I don't know who it is. I don't know what they've done with Alabama, but that's not Alabama, Clint. That team doesn't have it. Now, I'm going to say some things.
Okay.
Thing number one. Florida's game plan in this game gave me supreme confidence in Georgia's chances in Jacksonville. You understand? Bet the farm on Georgia in Jacksonville.
Whatever line that comes out to, just so you know, I'm triple betting the line, whatever it is.
Hammer. Why don't you just bet 3 times the amount on the first bet?
Because I just get too excited and I come back. I bet 3 times, but I bet like 10 times the amount I would have.
You do bet 3 times the amount, and then you do it again.
That's right.
Okay. But Alabama's game, the thing that Alabama does well, based on our conversation in segment 2 of this podcast, does make me a bit nervous to play it. Because listen, Alabama can't run the ball. They can't run the ball.
Harris ain't there.
I was told it's the best stable of running backs in college football. But what Bryce Young can do is just stand back there and sling it now. Just sling it downfield. And they've got big-time playmakers and wide receivers. We know that. But listen, I don't think it matters. This Alabama defense is hot garbage.
What's the one thing Alabama prides itself on defense throughout every single year, depending on whatever unit is best, DB, linebacker, or defensive line? What's the thing they pride themselves on defense, Daniel?
Tackling?
There it is. How's their tackling this
year?
What's
the one thing they're the worst at in college football, possibly?
Tackling.
We might score 55 against Alabama. And listen, they might score 28-30 against us. Not scared. Not worried. Not worried.
Not worried, but Daniel, that's assuming we might play them.
We learned something else this weekend.
I've been holding on this one nugget.
Yeah.
Okay. Ole Miss a problem, y'all. Ole Miss a giant heaping problem for everyone. Including us.
For college football.
Lane Kiffin is a problem. Matt Corral, problem. That defense, problem. Ole Miss has woken up.
Those wide receivers.
Happy. Oh, my gosh.
They're going to beat Texas A&M by 29 points.
Texas A&M doesn't scare me out. Whatever. Get off my lawn.
It's going to be interesting. But listen, here's what I learned from this weekend in college football. And this is what we'll just kind of go out on this note. We'll be back tomorrow. We got a bunch more to talk about of this Georgia football team and the Vanderbilt game coming up. We'll start to break that down tomorrow, as well as talk about a few other things, Kirby's media availability, all that stuff. Here's what I learned this weekend in college football, Georgia fans. This is it. Listen. If it's not now,
when?
Georgia fans, Georgia is last year's Alabama compared to the field. Now, was there a chance last year's Alabama wasn't going to win the national championship? As you went through week to week to week to week, you thought, yeah, maybe there's a chance that this Alabama team won't win the national championship. Maybe there's a chance that so-and-so will sneak up on them. Maybe there's a chance that, Florida played them close in the SEC championship game or whatever. Maybe there's a chance that Justin Fields and Ohio State will put something together in the Natty. But then you get to the end of the season and you look back and you realize there was no chance.
None.
Alabama was winning all the games because they were better than all the other teams. That's your team, Georgia. That's this team. We're the team.
Yep.
That's what I learned this weekend, college football, Clint. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We got a little warm in here. Started out warm and ended warm. Somebody find the thermostat. We'll be back tomorrow talking all things Georgia Bulldogs, and we'll talk to you guys